Wow, sorry for starting the game late here, but looks like we've already had a couple of unorth moves by Omar. 99 of 9 set up with his with this setup that bears his name, and he got a very strange look from Omar, where Omar, directly opposite 99 of 9's elephant, put a rabbit in the front row. This is considered heresy because the opposing elephant can advance 4 steps, just like 99 of 9 did, and attack the rabbit, pulling the rabbit out. On Omar's move 2, he committed a second heresy by advancing his camel. Most people don't start with a camel advance. Omar's always been a little bit experimental in his style of play. He likes trying different things. But this is very unusual. And now on move 3, after 99 of 9 pulled the rabbit out, as Omar dared him to, Omar advanced his camel even more. For the elephant camelet, he's offering to give his camel up as a hostage immediately, and using the rabbit as a swarm. So 99 of 9 on move 4 pulled the rabbit further. Now I expect Omar on move 4s, Silver's fourth move, to unfreeze his rabbit and move it into the c3 trap, following with his elephant onto the d3 square. Then 99 of 9 we would expect would take the camel hostage on the h3 square. Oh, I'm very surprised that Omar did not move his rabbit. Oh, I see. If he had moved his rabbit into the trap, the move I was suggesting would have taken 5 steps. So he couldn't move his rabbit into the trap and get his elephant there in time. Nevertheless, now it's move 5 for gold, and I'm expecting 99 of 9 to take that camel hostage on the a3 square. It's a good hostage position. Omar doesn't have much of a swarm yet. I think Omar has seen a successful elephant camel attack by a swarm recently, and would like to use that rabbit as part of his swarm. Now, 99 of 9 ideally would take the camel hostage and prevent the rabbit from coming back to the western wing. The silver rabbit is in serious danger of being captured in the f3 trap. It would be hard for Omar to defend both the f3 and the c3 trap with his elephant. Furthermore, his camel isn't available to defend the f3 trap. If you look long term, one of Gold's plans is precisely to capture things in the c3 trap, in the f3 trap, using the gold camel, because the silver camel can't stop, because the silver camel will be hostage. 99 is having a long think about this. I think he must be just stunned. Is offering to give up a camel hostage so quickly. Maybe he's not just stunned, maybe he's also slightly concerned that none of his pieces are developed. His horses, one of his horses would be stuck, at least temporarily stuck, on the b2 square, and his other horse isn't developed yet. But I really don't think he should worry. I think that this is clearly a good situation. Oh, he does not take the camel hostage. Well, that at least allows Omar to move the rabbit from the e4 square. I mean, the rabbit, 99 of 9 rearranged his pieces to develop a horse, to get his camel closer to being out. That's reasonable if you're fearing taking the camel hostage and fearing getting swarmed. Now, Omar doesn't need to give up that rabbit immediately. That rabbit that's sitting on e4, he to d4, closer to participating in the swarm, and then spend 3 moves bringing another piece up in the east, perhaps bringing his horse up 3 squares. Bringing the horse up 3 squares would force, and he did exactly that. No, he only brought his horse up 2 squares. Nevertheless, now 99 of 9 has to take on move 6. 99 of 9 has to take that elephant, has to take that camel hostage with his elephant, now or never. Because if he doesn't take the camel hostage with his elephant now, Omar is on his next move threatening to replace the camel with the horse. get a horse attack, very strong attack. So I really don't approve. As I look back, I don't see what 99 of 9 bought himself with move 5G. He really needed to take that camel hostage. Now he's being forced to take the camel hostage anyway. He didn't gain time by delaying to take the camel hostage. So I think Omar has 99 of 9 a little bit discombobulated, and still 99 of 9 is thinking what he's going to do. It's taken over a minute on this move. Omar moved very quickly in the opening, has already built up his reserve to almost 6 minutes. That's a lot of fun, especially when your opponent isn't expecting your moves. Oh, and again, he does not take 99 of 9, does not take the camel hostage, and strangely moves only 3 steps. It looks almost like a misclick. In Arimaa, you have 4 steps per turn. 99 of 9 used only 3. I would have expected the 4th one. If he was moving that rabbit away from H2 to G2, I would expect it to go all the way to F2. And now Omar quickly again buried his camel. I'm surprised by that move, burying the camel. I would have expected him to advance his horse first, but maybe he didn't want to lose the opportunity to embed his camel in 99 of 9's position. Now, the reason I'm a little bit concerned about that move on Omar's part is he needs to complete his attack. He needs to get his horse onto B3. How's he going to get his horse on B3 when 99 of 9's horse is on B3? Well, if his horse were on, say, A3, the camel could step into the trap, pull 99 of 9's horse from B3 to C3, and then move the silver horse to C3. But that's slow. If he tries to do that now, he'll need 3 steps to get his horse on A3, and in the meantime, he'll have lost his rabbit into the F3 trap. Interesting now, I see Omar chooses to save his rabbit by flipping the cat that was threatening to take the rabbit into the C3 trap. Still Omar moving quickly, only 21 seconds on that move. He's built his reserve almost to 7 minutes. The interesting thing about that move, well, it makes it harder for 99 of 9 to attack. Okay, so 99 of 9 has brought out his other cat to where it can take that. Omar can undo that move. Move 8, Gold's 8th move could be undone by Silver. That is, Omar could flip the cat back to what it was.
Quiet this so you can.
Hello? So the cat is, the other cat is in position to take Omar's rabbit. If he flips it around, undoing 99 of 9's move, 99 of 9 can redo the move, and then Omar would have to deviate because of the 3-time repetition rule. So instead, Omar saves his rabbit by advancing his other horse. It's kind of a strange position because Omar's attack is not developing perhaps as quickly as he would like. That is to say, the situation around the C3 trap, he would like to swarm there, but he's having to delay swarming in order to save losing a rabbit. Nevertheless, his advanced horse is good. That could eventually be part of a swarm around the C3 trap. And he has a threat. If 99 of 9 doesn't stop the threat, he has a threat to, Omar has a threat to move his camel. Oh, interesting. So on move 9, 99 of 9 tucks his camel back in, helping in the defense of the C3 trap. And the threat, if Omar would just pass right now, the threat would be actually to frame the silver camel. The gold elephant could step into the C3 trap, pull the silver camel from C3 to C2, and the gold camel would step in behind, completing the frame. And then 99 of 9 could rotate his camel out of the frame, holding the camel in place with just the elephant and small pieces, and with a free camel, which looks like it would be a big advantage. However, it doesn't look in this case like the frame could hold, because, well, and now Omar has already pulled one of the rabbits out of the frame. Now Omar would need 5 moves to do the camel frame. That is 4 moves to pull the silver camel into the trap and move his own camel in to block it. 5th step to move his rabbit from A2 to A3. However, if he moves his rabbit from A2 to A3 right now in preparation for the camel frame, the silver horse cannot dislodge the second rabbit. Nevertheless, as Omar here, I think I somehow managed to lose a move that I was commentating on. I thought it was silver's move. Oh no, sorry, it was gold's move. I thought that I was expecting gold to move his rabbit from A2 to A3, because pulling the camel into the trap right now, it's not framed. The camel can push off the trap into the B3 square, pushing the cat to A3, and not really be in any trouble that I can see. Although you could say here, well, 99 of 9, if Omar's intention was to swarm in the west, his intention has certainly been thwarted, because at the moment the gold pieces are far advanced, further advanced than the silver pieces, and so if now Omar gives up that camel hostage, oh wow, and he did give up the camel hostage. I don't know if Omar's going to see this, but on 10S, sorry, on 11G, on gold's 11th move, he can retreat yes. So he's taking the hostage as a high hostage, is what I like to call this, meaning that the camel, traditional place to take the camel hostage would be on the A3 square. But here Omar's taking it on the B4 square and using his horse on B5 to prevent the camel from being unfrozen. So this is a very nice hostage, because when one takes a camel hostage on the A3 square with the elephant on B3, it's easier for the other opponent to swarm. That is, silver would be having the threat of blocking in the gold elephant with a swarm of little pieces. In this case, there is no possibility to block in the gold elephant. I mean, it's just not realistic to consider a swarm in this situation. So, and in terms of, it looks like Omar is not quite sure what to do either. Omar has flipped the 99 of 9 other cat. Now he's flipped both cats from the from the east into the west. But it looks like it's just helping 99 of 9 achieve the rotation that 99 of 9 wanted. And sure enough, we see on move 12, 99 of 9 promptly brings his camel out. Actually, Omar, move 11 was a total waste of time, putting the small piece where 99 of 9 wants the small piece and letting the big piece come out. So here comes 99 of 9 with a free camel. That camel now can roam around in the east. It's the strongest free piece. Now, the reason I call it the strongest free piece is that the 2 elephants are involved in an elephant deadlock. The silver elephant cannot leave the C3 trap. If it leaves the C3 trap, then gold will just capture the silver camel. But also, gold elephant can't easily leave the C3 trap. I mean, he could technically leave the C3 trap without immediate catastrophe. But if he did, then the silver camel would push back into B3. Silver would gain control of that trap fairly quickly. So we have both of the elephants deadlocked around the C3 trap, and the camel on the B4 trap is frozen. The camel cannot leave. So with both elephants deadlocked there, the camel frozen there, that means that the gold camel is the only piece that is at liberty to wander around the board. So gold has the strongest free piece. This is the advantage that one seeks from taking a camel hostage. And it looks like Omar has lost the opening. He came out swinging, came out with a move, and I think managed to confuse 99 of 9 a bit at first. but Omar's own play was not as sharp as it might have been, if I may say so, and now he's down a camel hostage, very nice camel hostage for gold. So what can silver hope to do here? One thing that I would consider if I were silver is to improve the position of my horse on the a5 square. That horse is really not serving any function, not threatening a capture, not preventing a capture, no offensive or defensive function. But if Omar would now carefully maneuver a rabbit out, that a4 rabbit, and threaten to capture the a4 rabbit in the c6 trap, then the only piece, I mean, if the silver horse wanted to defend it, sorry, the gold horse wanted to defend it, it would have to abandon his post on b5 and let the silver camel be unfrozen. And nothing else is really close enough to defend it. I mean, the gold elephant is close enough to defend the c6 trap, but that would also entail releasing the camel hostage. So the plan that I'm seeing for silver here, I mean, the most straightforward plan would be to try to pick on the a4 rabbit, hoping to capture it in the c6 trap. In the long term, if silver doesn't do anything to improve his position, gold has a very easy long-term plan, which is, and he could start it quickly, which is a horse and camel attack against the f6 trap. First, the horse. Get the horse up on the, right now he could do it on move 14. He could get his horse up onto the g6 square with a rabbit on g3 so that he doesn't lose his camel. The reason you lead with the horse rather than camel is that you do not want the silver elephant to just abandon the situation. You don't want the silver elephant to just give up on the silver camel hostage, say, go ahead and take my camel, but I'll take yours, which is what can happen if the gold camel goes out wandering by itself. But if the gold camel follows the horse, first we get the horse up there into the g6 square, making the f6 trap safe. And then, well, so 99 of 9 is on board for my general plan, it looks like. He wants to advance his camel. He's advancing a rabbit. What can happen is he can set up around the f6 trap and start making captures there. And silver might be tempted to scatter away from the trap, say, well, at least I just won't even leave any pieces there, so you have nothing to capture. You're just shooting into the air. But if there's also a gold rabbit involved in the attack, then silver can't run away with the pieces, because running away with pieces would just make a hole. So it looks like 99 of 9 is definitely thinking about the plan of using his horse, camel, and a rabbit to attack around the f6 trap and break through over there. But he didn't move as quickly as I would have. I would have gone full out. He wanted to move a rabbit over instead. He hasn't advanced his horse yet. He may be weighing the odds here, weighing the possibility of Omar trying to share control of the c3 trap. Omar would love to free his elephant from this whole situation. It's not clear to me how he can free his elephant. To free his elephant, he would need 2 other pieces besides the c3 trap. 2 other pieces next to the c3 trap. Okay, Omar's move, in my mind, accomplished nothing. He's just advancing some rabbits because he doesn't know what to do. If Omar was not going to pick on that a4 rabbit and pull that gold rabbit to threaten it in the c6 trap, if that wasn't to his liking, what he should have done is push his elephant in behind the trap. Omar could, in one move, push the dogs away and get his elephant down to the c2 square, and from the c2 square, try and get in to the b3 square. And once the silver elephant is in the b3 square, then the silver camel is not frozen, and suddenly there's a one move threat to capture the gold horse. So I would have either gone down behind the trap on move 14, on Silver's move 14, or I would have just tried to pick up a rabbit. In any event, gold should feel a certain amount of pressure. I mean, gold has the upper hand here. 99 of 9 is winning, but he should feel that the clock is ticking, that Silver will be able to accomplish something. He could try to make a phalanx on the D2 square. That is, there's a dog on D2, but that dog can just be pushed away. Omar, 99 of 9, once again chooses a move that I consider relatively slow. He moved a couple of rabbits sideways at a time when he could have been moving pieces forwards or rabbits forward, anything forward. But he is leaving his camel around. I'm not sure why he wants to leave his camel around. Is it for home defense? The camel isn't really going to do that much to help on home defense. I think if the elephant dives... Oh, okay, so Omar is taking the plan I suggested earlier of the A4 rabbit. I do not see that gold will want to defend that. Gold could push his elephant into C5, but that would unfreeze the camel hostage. So I think this is a move that gold doesn't want to stop. But however, with 3 steps, however, he can get his camel onto the F5 square and horse onto the G6 square, starting a rollicking attack. He could use another step to advance a rabbit to perhaps to E2. One reason to put a rabbit on E2 here for gold, when you've got a spare step, is that Silver, if Silver were going to dive behind the trap with his elephant at some point, he would have to push the gold dog back rather than pushing the gold dog to the side. And, 99 of 9 now. So now 99 of 9 makes a really risky move. I guess he must have felt the time pressure coming. He chooses to use all 4 steps on the attack. And what this means is now Omar has the opportunity. He has the opportunity of abandoning his hostage camel, running over with his elephant to the F6 trap, to the F5 square. So he can move his elephant on move 16 to F5, threatening to take a camel. So if 99 of 9 takes a camel, then Omar takes a camel. But no, Omar does not abandon the hostage situation. He takes a rabbit to go ahead by 1 rabbit, and now 99 of 9, it will be very difficult for Omar to prevent 99 of 9 from getting control of the F6 trap. Now, it really takes 3 pieces. There are 2 strong pieces. It really needs 3 pieces to take control of a trap, because as long as you only have 2 pieces, the other person can occupy the other 2 sides. So let's say on move 17, yes, he pushes out the cat with the camel, okay, advances rabbits to help with the attack. Now the only way Omar can defend that trap is to put a piece on the F5 square. However, he can, in addition to putting a piece on the F5 square is dangerous, because the gold camel can shoot right back down through the trap, pushing that piece to F4, threatening to capture it in F3. But if Omar puts his silver horse on the F5 square and then occupies the trap with his dog, so he puts his horse on F5 and puts a dog in the way in the trap, and then puts either his horse or his rabbit onto the E6 square, then the gold camel cannot shoot through the trap, threatening that piece. The only thing is perhaps, oh no, Omar apparently did not see it. Okay, so now either the horse or the camel can push the dog down. I would recommend the camel for sure. Camel coming through the trap, pushing the dog to F3, threatening capture. And then one more step. It's too bad that too bad for gold that he can't use that one more step to put a piece in the way on e3, because Omar next will bring his horse down to have two pieces defending the f3 trap. Nevertheless, I think it's clear what Omar needs to do. He needs to threaten to capture something in f3. That's what 99 of 9 plus a rabbit step. I might have preferred the rabbit step to be to onto, well, okay. Anyway, we're getting into technical details here, but the little tactics can make a big difference when you're talking about trap control. He may have been afraid that that last rabbit step on 18G may have been in anticipation of the wanting to block the silver horse. The silver horse is going to come to the e3 square now on move 18, silver's 18th move. We're certainly going to see the silver horse or the silver rabbit. Something is going to come into the e3 square, and then something is also going to come onto the f7 square, so that he can protect both traps and not lose any material. I think 99 of 9's last step on move 18 was anticipating that the horse would be coming in to that square and not wanting the horse to be able to slip in behind the e3 trap, to come in all the way around to c2. And so he's preparing to build a phalanx on the d2 square to stop the horse from coming around. At least that's my interpretation of that last step. Now Omar is going into a deep thinking. And Omar, well, okay, he deserves to think, because he's in trouble. He's positionally in great difficulty. How is he going to not lose some material here very shortly? But Omar is also very prone to time trouble, and I would not be surprised at all if Omar ends up losing this game on time because he gets in a situation where he can't think of a good move. Until recently, Omar simply lost every time he played a blitz game. He would lose on time. He's had more practice recently. He's gotten to where he can play blitz games at all, at some level. But still, it's very difficult for him to play at fast speeds. Okay, that last step, that fourth step, he used his first three steps to protect both traps, and the fourth step of moving the rabbit into e4 on move 18 is a nice move because it prevents the dog from being pushed aside. Gold does not want to use his camel to push the dog into the f3 trap. It would just push out, and then there would suddenly be a lot of silver defenders. But Omar moved exactly as I was going to predict he ought. Sorry, a 99 of 9 moved. At least the first three steps of his move were as I was going to predict he ought. Advancing the gold rabbit to give him a square to push the dog onto. So now, how does silver get two defenders around the f3 trap? The answer is he doesn't get two defenders around the f3 trap. He can't. That fourth step with the silver rabbit, sorry, with the gold rabbit, the last step, I would have at least considered using my final step to build a phalanx on the d2 square, occupying d1 with the c1 rabbit. That c1 rabbit moving to d1 would prevent the silver horse from taking over the d2 square. It's a possibility now for Omar. I'm not sure if he's going to do this, but he has no way to avoid losing material, at least not that I see. To me, it looks like gold will be losing, it looks like silver will be losing material. The only try to not lose material would be to move the elephant to f5, threatening the horse. I don't think that works. I think he still ends down material, but it's a try. Okay, so either move the elephant to f5, trying produce this ginormous exchange that will I think gold will come out of that okay. Or he can say, well, I'm losing material anyway. At least I'm going to move my horse down into the D2 square, and from the D2 square, that will help. I'll get in there and help my elephant get behind my camel and free up my position. And he does go for the D2 square. Okay, so that's very interesting. Now I think that 99 of 9 will quickly kill the dog, pulling it through the trap square so that the camel is closer to the horse. And I think that he really cannot afford to just take the silver pieces and go back on the attack around the f6 square. To go on the attack around the f6 square, it doesn't look like you're all that far from goal, but the safer play would be to send the gold camel after the silver horse. And if you do send the gold camel after the silver horse by pulling through the dog on move 20, the camel moves into the trap, pulling the dog behind it, and then out to the e3 square, again pulling the dog, capturing the dog. If gold does that, what is silver's plan? If the gold camel ends up getting near that silver horse. Yes, it's slow. It would take a long time for gold to accomplish anything. But silver doesn't have the wherewithal to do anything to gold on the rest of the board. Well, 99 of 9 might disagree with me on this because of how long he's taking to think. He might be thinking that he doesn't fancy getting his camel stuck in the back row chasing around horse. I'm not sure why. I think it looks strong, but say he doesn't fancy that, then he might just take the silver dog and then let silver do what he will, take the silver rabbit on the next turn, and then right back on the attack with just a crushing goal attack. Silver would have to be doing something in a hurry to get back around to defend it in time. Okay, after almost a 2-minute think, he plays the move that I recommend, that is pulling the dog through the trap with the camel. So now Omar is now down material in addition to being down the camel hostage, and he has something to think about. If he simply he flipped the camel into the C3 trap on 20s. That I've got to say, my friends, that was a terrible move because he's given up on doing anything with his silver horse. It's almost like he's already here on move 20. He's decided, you know what? I'm not going to win this game. I'm gonna see what I can do to delay. The reason I say it's a terrible move is it takes 2 steps for that camel to come out next to the silver horse, and then can just take the silver horse hostage, and does. Okay, so if there's any plan at all here for silver, and I'm not sure that there is a plan, it could be saying, I'm going to abandon my camel. I have an elephant, horse, and rabbit. I'm going to use my elephant, horse, rabbit to get an attack going in the east. And the H file is open. There is no piece in the corner. If you look at G1, H1, G2, H2, H3, there are no gold pieces there. There are only rabbits in that corner. So he could make a little bit of excitement with some kind of an attack going against that corner. But my hunch is it's all just going to be noise. That gold can rotate pieces over there, and there's not enough force behind the attack. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yep, here comes the... Well, okay, so I moved the rabbit out there first. Now, gold could take the silver horse. If he did, he would lose the game down the H file. So the horse has been saved for 1 turn. If gold, however, takes a rabbit, let's say he could take his F1 rabbit, or even his F2 rabbit. I mean, nothing is threatening the trap. Take his F1 rabbit and put it on H3. And as soon as he's done that, there is suddenly silver would need a piece. would need a piece to help that rabbit get through, because the rabbit can't do any pushing on its own. Oh, he uses the F2 rabbit? Oh, interesting. I'm quite surprised that he didn't take that extra step, H2 to H3 with his rabbit. My experience, I'm not the best goal attacker or the best goal defender, but my experience is that that extra step, getting that rabbit from that silver rabbit from H4 to H3, has a dramatic increase on the power of the goal threat. So I'm not sure about that last step of 22G, and here I'm expecting now Omar to just say, well, what have I got to lose? And pull his elephant over to, well, I was going to say pull his elephant over to E3 and his horse over to F2. Now, I was just then, as I was saying that, I was arrested by the thought of silver advancing a piece into either a rabbit or his horse, probably the rabbit from D6 square into the E3 square, and that rabbit would be safe. That is, gold could not take that rabbit immediately. The camel is sort of blocked by his own pieces. But I don't see any. I don't see much long-term future for that. I think the camel will be able to clean up anything around the F3 trap if silver were to dive in more. This is a really dire situation for silver, and silver flips the camel again. Once again, it's like saying, you know what, I know I'm not going to win, so I'm just going to delay you. That flipping the camel, the camel in 2 steps can come down to the F. Well, I don't know where exactly the camel wants to come. Maybe that the camel, if the camel comes to the E3 square, as I was originally suggesting, from E3 the elephant can push it away. And there's a slight here. The camel is not frozen. It could, if it wanted to, immediately jump into D6. That's not my style to be racing like that. So now, interesting. Okay, so now Omar maybe has bought himself something. Maybe that camel flip that I was disparaging. No, he flips the camel again. Okay, and so now Omar can, 99 of 9 can restore the position, can move his dogs out of the way and get his camel back to the E2 square, and we will be back to the position that Omar was faced before. 99 of 9, in fact, does that. Now, if they repeated this whole sequence of moves, 99 of 9 would be the one who would have to deviate. 99 of 9 is, in this case, undoing Omar's move. However, because the cycle is longer, on move 24S, if Omar flips the gold camel again to D4 on 24S, 99 of 9 could deviate at that point. He wouldn't have to wait to deviate until it was back in the same situation. So let's see if Omar comes up with another move. I mean, if you're just following the deviation logic, he could make the same move he made before, just in the confidence that 99 of 9 would not be able to repeat the position. And maybe why not? I mean, why not do that and put the pressure on? Here you're losing, make the move, hope your opponent makes a blunder. And then maybe profitably deviate. Omar moved his third move was very quick, flipping the camel into the trap. I think he had actually a fairly strong attack had he chosen instead to push the camel away, push the camel from E3 to E4, then get his horse onto the F2 square, pushing the gold rabbit up or back, either one, and then would have had a very nice goal attack going. But whether that happens again, I mean, for him to have another chance to do that, he would have to flip the camel again and 99 of 9 sort of make the same move on 25G that he made on 23G. Okay, so here we go. Here comes the goal attack. Now, he used his fourth step of 24S. He used his fourth step to keep the gold camel from participating in the defense. However, that does now give 99 of 9 a chance to remedy his past move rabbit h2 to h3, slowing down the attack somewhat. Also, the pieces, gold could start slipping some pieces in behind, or he could bring his horse back. A reasonable move here would be perhaps to start moving the horse back, abandoning his rabbit. He has a rabbit on f5 that would be in danger if the horse on g6 came back to participate in the defense. But hey, if silver takes the time to capture that rabbit on f5, then gold will have the time to capture the silver camel. So that'll be fine. All gold has to do here is be really, really sure not to give up a goal. So, for example, gold could play rabbit h2 to h3, rabbit f3 to f4, so that there's no capture on that trap. Move the horse back 2 squares from g6 to g4, and he moved, not quite exactly that. He still left h3 open. I wonder why he has such a different opinion than I do about occupying the h3 square, because that's twice he's declined to do it. In any event, silver, the go for broke move on silver's part now is to advance his h8 rabbit to h5 and then h4 rabbit to h3. So continuing the goal attack, and that would be a strong enough attack, I think, that that gold could not immediately capture the silver camel. So I think I'm going to have to criticize 99 of 9's move here as giving just a little bit more hope, a little bit more life for attack than it would have needed to have. I suppose that the silver cat could also serve the same function of coming up and unfreezing the rabbit to get it to h3. If the rabbit is on h3 and gold does nothing to defend it, I mean, if he uses all four steps to take the silver camel, then the following step, of course, would be for the silver horse to move to g2 and then move down to g1, pulling the g2 rabbit over and advancing the rabbit from h3 to h2. So that advance with the silver rabbit would at least put the pressure on, save the silver camel for one more move. Omar is in another deep think. We're in a very exciting position of the game. Why not use your time now? But I don't see what the other alternative is here. He could try, taking control of the trap with his horse. But as soon as his elephant tries to participate in control of the trap, I mean, he needs at least his horse and his elephant to control the trap. If he were to do that now on move 25S, then that would let the gold camel participate in the defense. And so it really wouldn't gain a whole lot to do that. I think advancing the rabbit is called for. While Omar is thinking, I will take a moment to thank our sponsors for the championship, for the Arimaa World Championship. Z-Man Games and BoardGamesForUs.com have both generously contributed to the prize fund. Z-Man Games is the publisher of Arimaa. Buy one if you haven't already. Oh, and there's 25S. Omar does, in fact, make the move that I suggested after thinking for 3 minutes. His huge reserve that he built up earlier in the game has been drained now to under 2 minutes. 99 of 9 still has a comfortable amount of time on his clock. Not the most comfortable position in the world, but if 99 of 9 wanted to right now, he still could take that h3 square belatedly, using his horse to pull back the rabbit from h3 to h4 and advancing his own rabbit from h2 to h3. He could also drop his horse back, move his rabbit aside into his g3 rabbit into f3, drop his horse down to participate in the defense, and then use 2 more steps trying to get another blocker over to that wing. He could even consider trying to get his camel into it, but I don't really see the camel doesn't quite get there. Yeah, he can't. I mean, he could get his camel to the f3 square, but the silver horse would not be frozen and could still pull away the h2 rabbit, allowing his h3 rabbit to advance to h2. So, and 99 of 9 does drop his horse back on the defense even further than necessary. That was a nice defensive move. I did not see that. But it's a very nice defensive move on 26G because the silver horse is blocked from continuing the attack. To unblock the situation, the silver elephant would have to participate. But for the silver elephant to participate, well, it sort of lets the gold camel in on it. So to continue the attack, really all I see is the horse would need to push down into the f1 square. Pushing the rabbit away, always push the defenders away, so push the rabbit to the e1 square. So horse to the f1 square and elephant to the e2 square, sorry, f2 square. That still blocks out the camel. That still has, attacking potential. Let's see, I'm not quite sure what gold would do about it. It has a strong threat of a goal in 2 of pushing the... no, I think actually after that move, gold may just have time to take the silver camel. And really, I mean, I think that gold would have time to take the silver camel in that situation, get the elephant back on defense. I'm not positive that that is so, but if it's true, even if that goal attack that I'm mentioning is not strong enough, and again, the move I'm considering is the horse to f1, pushing the rabbit to e1, elephant coming into the f2 square, maybe the 4th step, why not, let's just advance that rabbit from h5 to h case is important in any line to have that rabbit unfrozen. Okay, I'm considering that move, and I'm thinking that maybe gold would be able to take the silver camel. Even if I'm right that it's true that gold can take the silver camel at that point, the silver should still do the attack because he's got nothing else to do. If he goes back with his elephant now, if the silver elephant now returns to defend against his hostage camel from being taken. If he goes to d3, then the gold camel will come across and step on the silver horse. He'll just lose slowly. It will just be a longer loss. Oh my goodness, Omar's only down to 15 seconds left. I said it would probably come down to him potentially losing on time. And he makes his move with 11 seconds left. Okay, he makes his move, pushing his horse through to the north. Now, I would, if gold is concerned about threat, he can move his camel back across. But I think he has the time now to take the silver camel. I mean, there's obviously no goal in 1 threat. And if there's no goal in 2, I don't see a goal in 2, then he should take the silver camel. Taking the silver camel gives up the rabbit. On move 27G, if gold takes in the C3 trap, silver will be able to take a rabbit in the F3 trap. But so what? You're up a camel, and then your elephant is free. Then the gold elephant could come back over, and even if he lost a couple rabbits or something in the meantime, be able to clean up that mess, regain control of the F3 trap. So I'm thinking here for move 27, Gold's 27th move, and he does in fact just take the silver camel. Now Omar will surely take a rabbit. He has a choice of rabbits to take. He could take a rabbit in the F3 trap or the F6 trap. Surely he'll take in the F3 trap because it makes his attack a little bit stronger, because he can take that rabbit in the F6 trap next turn anyway. So take a rabbit, and perhaps to help fight for the trap control, move his own rabbit from H3 to G3. Reasonable last step. That will ensure that he gets, I believe that will ensure that he gets a second rabbit for his sacrificed camel. Okay, yes. Now moving the elephant out of the way, I don't quite understand that. On move 27, as Omar took the gold rabbit and ended with his elephant on F2. Now, yeah, it looks like the elephant on F2 is going to participate in attack a little bit more, maybe keeping the camel from crossing. So it gives the gold elephant access to the E3 square. So there's no puzzle here for Gold to figure out how am I going to get my elephant involved in gold defense. He just moves his elephant to E3, and there, it's involved in gold defense. And he has other steps if he wanted to spend the rest of his turn making that goal attack 100% futile. He could get a rabbit onto H1 just to be another blocker. So Omar moved in time. He's moved a little bit more quickly on move 27S, so he's got now 25 seconds in reserve. But 99 of 9 has a huge material advantage here. He's up by a camel and a dog for 2 rabbits. 3 rabbits, I could say, because Omar is going to capture another rabbit. But wait, Omar even has an issue because his own rabbit on C5 is threatened in the C3 trap. So he has some difficulty. Okay, 99 of 9 makes a defensive move. Omar can't even get his rabbit to the H2 square. That would take 5 steps for him to get his rabbit to the H2 square. This move would not have been available. Move 28G would not have been available to 99 of 9 if Omar had used the 4th step earlier, as I suggested. And the suggestion I made then was to unfreeze his rabbit, to bring his rabbit H5 to H4, unfreezing the H3 rabbit. That would have given him the opportunity to take H2 with his rabbit in only 4 steps. Okay, never mind. He's called off the attack. The attack is over. He captured his 3rd rabbit while saving his C5 rabbit from being taken, and now he's down a camel and a dog for 3 rabbits. Speaking, a dog is worth 2 rabbits, leaving a camel for the 1 rabbit. Okay, very tough material disadvantage. One thing that makes it even tougher is that Omar's forces are unbalanced. Omar does not have a horse on the western wing, and 99 of 9 immediately jumps in there and takes the B6 square with his own horse. So 99 of 9 has sort of a built-in attack waiting at any time over there. There's an immediate threat to take the rabbit that's sitting on F6, but even if Omar defends that, there's an attack waiting. He used 1 step. I approve of his step to move a rabbit from G4 to H4. That serves a double purpose. The gold rabbit on H4 is less vulnerable to being captured. So silver doesn't really have any targets. What can silver pick on? It does serves a second function of preventing the silver rabbit on H5 from advancing to H4, which would strengthen the power of the H3 rabbit. Okay, so now Omar makes an attack. Omar uses 1 step to defend the C6 trap, no point in losing material. Uses the other 3 to bring the gold horse offside. Now, maybe the more threatening part of that move is that the elephant is threatening to get the silver rabbit to h2 after all. Using 4 steps, he can pull the h2 rabbit, gold h2 rabbit out of the way and advance his own rabbit. 99 of 9 must spend at least 1 step blocking that. He has a longer term worry. How is he going to save his gold horse? But the threat to the gold horse is really not that serious, because if 99 of 9, if you could ask him what to do in this position strategically, he would want to have an elephant horse attack. And if he, let's say on move 30G, he advances his elephant to the C4 square, sorry, to the F4 square, and uses 1 or 2 steps to slow down that goal threat so that the rabbit doesn't get an extra square forward, then 99 of 9 is that much closer to an elephant horse attack. So Omar's move, okay, I don't know what else he could have done, but yep, 99 of 9 did as I predicted, moved his elephant to F4, and so 99 of 9 is getting close to an elephant horse attack. Yes, here Omar can diddle around more with his elephant, but an attack with just an elephant and a rabbit is quite weak. He can make a threat, but he'll never have time to execute the threat. So on 30S, for example, at 30S, his elephant could push down into the 2 square, threatening again to get his rabbit to H2. Oh no, okay, so maybe he wants to come out with his elephant somehow. But now that his elephant is no longer on the G3 square, the gold horse can come right back to the G3 square, and Omar is no closer to an attack than he was before. Maybe 99 of 9 could think, oh, all right, my wing is a little weak. I'm a little bit weak in that corner, but I will give up on the elephant horse attack that I wanted to have, and instead I'll just move my horse back to F3, and I'll operate in the west with my horse and my camel, and just consolidate his position here. Omar's moves, the situation that Omar is in is that in order to be able to make a threat, so 99 of 9 makes a good consolidating move, moves a cat to the center. His center fence was looking a little bit thin, not thin enough that Omar had anything. But anyway, it only took 1 move for 99 of 9, 1 step of his move, to move his horse back to F3. And what do you know, Omar doesn't have any more threats than he had before. So Omar took 4 steps in order to make a threat. 99 of 9 took 1 step in order to stop the threat. And so if this goes on, if Omar wants to continue playing this game where he always wants to end each move with some threat that 99 of 9 has to respond to, then 99 of 9 will just gain more and more time, consolidate his position, and slowly get an advantage. Well, okay, so I criticize this proceeding by Omar, but what else is Omar going to do? Strategically, what options does he have? The 99 of 9 has the deputy. Okay, so he's getting his elephant back out. It's a good thing, when you're behind on material, it's a good thing to have your elephant not on the same wing as the opposing elephant. Here, with this goal threat and the continuing threats that were going around, both of the elephants were in the same place. If both of the elephants are in the same place, neither of them is really going to be able to do anything. Well, okay, so neither of them can do anything, so why is that bad? That's bad because 99 of 9 has the deputy. There's a gold camel. The gold camel cannot be opposed by any other silver piece other than the silver elephant. But wait, let's suppose that somehow Omar manages to create a position in which the elephants are apart from each other. Like right now, let's say he just, on move 32G, 99 of 9 is threatening the advanced silver rabbit, threatening to frame it, capture it. A frame here is almost as good as a capture because Omar has no way of breaking the frame. So maybe Omar will decide in this situation, you know what, I'm just going to run away with my elephant to be on the other wing and threaten the gold horse. Yeah, I'll trade a rabbit for a gold horse, or maybe something else. Maybe he'll push the cat out. In any event, just do something to mix the position up a little bit to get pieces on to get the elephants not near each other, because when the elephants are not near each other, then maybe he can create some kind of race. I'm sort of stretching here because we've got the because Omar's material disadvantage is so huge, but at least that's the way to create some kind of action. I interrupted thanking our sponsors before, but as Omar goes into another long think, let me remind you that BoardGamesForUs.com is selling games online, and thank them for their kind sponsorship. Not only do they contribute to the prize fund of this game, they also gave a discount code to all of the participants in this tournament. Okay, so on move 32S, after draining his reserve down to 31 seconds, Omar decides to save his rabbit. The gold horse, can simply reoccupy the F3 square. There's no threat here. At least there's no goal threat. One thing that Silver can do for a little action that I hadn't thought of. Well, okay, maybe in the long term he's not going to be able to save his H3 rabbit from being framed, but he could pick on. I'm not sure I like that 33G, because that move 33G allows Silver. The silver cat is now unfrozen, so on 33S, the silver cat could pull the gold rabbit on H4 twice, threatening to get a rabbit for a rabbit. And if the elephant stops that maneuver of getting a rabbit for a rabbit, then Silver can threaten perhaps to get a piece on the F4 square to relieve his elephant of defensive duty. Just put a tiny little bit of tension into the position somehow. So I'm not sure what Omar thinks he's going to do other than pull the rabbit out, but he's taking his time again, flirting with time trouble. The irony of it is that Omar, as tournament director, doesn't like it, or as tournament coordinator, is always unhappy when somebody loses on time. There could be technical difficulties, somebody could get lag, and timeout due to that. And so he always says, leave at least a minute of reserve. Okay, well, I'm not sure why. He moved only 3 steps. Maybe he moved only 3 steps because he waited so long before moving that he didn't have time to type all the steps. But given how he always tells everybody, leave at least a minute in your reserve, because that way you won't get lagged out. You send your move at the last minute, at the last second, and then you suffer some internet lag or some client problems and lose the game. Oh, that's a terrible way to lose the game. Well, I don't like losing a game that way myself. But here he drains his reserve down to 5 seconds. He's in a difficult position, and anyway, he's addicted to time trouble. So he is in fact going to try and threaten the gold rabbit, so he has some kind of counterplay after his own rabbit is framed. However, this move where he only pulled it once rather than pulling it twice gives gold more time to deal with the situation. He can push the rabbit into the trap with his horse, advance his own rabbit behind it. Oh, no, okay, so he did not advance his own rabbit behind it, and he's thinking about activating his camel. With move 34G, you see the last 2 steps. I I'm not quite sure about those last two steps. I would have been thinking about how am I going to save my F4 rabbit when it my G4 rabbit when it gets flipped to F5. Okay, here it takes 4 steps for the gold elephant to make it to the E6 square. Also, the gold elephant can pull the silver rabbit from E5 to E4 and move the gold rabbit away 1 square. But anyway, as soon as the gold elephant is distracted defending that rabbit, then silver okay, so he chose the latter of the two options, incidentally bringing a silver rabbit closer to gold, so I'm not sure how happy I am with that. But now silver can win that rabbit outright by using his horse to push it back onto the F5 square. He would need another step. In fact, he does that. So Omar is going to win a rabbit here. 99 of 9, I guess, rather than saving the rabbit by leaving the trap with his elephant, wanted his elephant still to be around on defense. Now, with the time that 99 of 9 has, since he can't save that rabbit, he could come out with his camel. Let's say advance his camel 3 squares on move 36G, bring his camel up to D5, and then move his cat over. Cat over to the D3 square. He's got to be careful to keep some pieces in the middle. He doesn't want his middle gold defense to get too thin, because if he does, Omar will abandon his framed rabbit and try and get that other rabbit to goal. That rabbit that is now sitting on D4. If I were Omar now, I would take this opportunity on move 36S to abandon the framed rabbit. It's not worth very much away. Capturing, moving the elephant up to harass the gold camel. You don't get too many chances. 99 of 9 was very cautious keeping his camel back, and so the opportunity to take that hostage may not come around again for a while. The hostage is definitely diminished in value by the fact that 99 of 9 long ago put his gold horse onto the B6 square. So that's one trap that the gold elephant can't threaten the camel in, at least can't threaten it in quickly, which would give the gold elephant time to come over and defend that side. Maybe Omar is thinking about just capturing the rabbit, capturing the gold rabbit with his cat, and letting go of his rabbit that happens to be in danger. Maybe next move he'll consider leaving with his elephant. So Omar is once again testing the limits of his reserve. He's down to 7 seconds on my screen. And once again moves with only 5 seconds left. Okay, so Omar is content just to capture the rabbit. Probably, I mean, I'm expecting 9 of 9 not to continue attacking with his camel, but to just clean up that rabbit from the D4 square. You probably don't want to mess with leaving silver advanced rabbits. Why would you give any chance for counterplay when you have the opportunity to have a safe capture? And then gold has all the time in the world. I said earlier that gold needed to hurry lest silver come up with a plan. This is not a time for hurrying. And indeed, 37, gold captures the rabbit. Now there are no targets, so now there are no gold rabbits for silver to pull. We had a rabbit trade, and silver can feel good about getting more pieces off the board. The more pieces come off the board, the less he will feel his disadvantage. But what's his next target? What's he going to do now? Maybe he could move his horse up to the h4 square, moving his rabbit over to g4, and say, hey, I'm just going to try and pull another rabbit. That worked so well last time. Trouble with that is now gold can do the horse and camel attack against the f6 square. Gold is threatening to move right in with his camel onto e6 and start taking pieces in the f6 square. So Omar, with 1 second left in reserve, Mr. Time Trouble himself takes the move I see, so that he will be threatening something. Now I would be surprised if 99 of 9 didn't take this opportunity. Well, you know, he could safely, let's say, just pull the e6 rabbit to e5 with his camel, pull that rabbit forward, capture another rabbit in the c3 trap. But trading rabbits, every pair of rabbits that gets traded makes Omar's position better. Omar actually has more pieces than 99 of 9. Okay, 3 rabbits for a camel and a dog. 3 rabbits is not worth nearly as much as a camel and a dog. But every time more pieces come off the board, they get closer to being worth a camel and a dog. It gets closer to even. So I would expect 99 of 9 not to just continue futzing around here, but to move his camel onto the e6 square, pushing the rabbit out of the way. 99 of 9, oh, and in fact, he does not do that. Now, I'm going to tell you why he didn't do that. The reason he didn't put his camel on d6 was he was afraid of the gold elephant coming, abandoning the framed rabbit, coming to the e6 square. I think he need not have been afraid. He wouldn't have lost his camel. He could have unfrozen it with his cat and moved it away. He would have been just capturing a lot of material. So I would have gone ahead and played the faster move. But with such a material advantage, okay, he's still in control. He's given Omar another move to pull out the h3 rabbit. I think Omar should just pull h3 rabbit to h5 with his horse, pulling twice. The catastrophe is going to come soon. And he does exactly that. Now 99 of 9 will take control of the trap by moving his camel through it onto c7. From c7, the camel cannot be easily harassed by the silver elephant. The camel had come to d6. Yes, the silver elephant could have come to e6 with some kind of threat. Not the strongest threat, but a threat. Now moving the camel into c7, there's no threat at all. And another step, why not spend another step advancing the gold rabbit on the attack? The only thing to be concerned about is now the H file is not completely full as well, so that silver rabbit on... Oh, I was wrong. So 99 of 9, rather than choosing to make a material threat on 39G, makes a direct goal threat. He is now threatening goal in 1, that is his horse could pull away the silver rabbit, and then advance his own rabbit twice. Omar can stop this by swinging his own rabbit from the the d6 square over to b6, and it actually, to my mind, gives him another defender of the trap. Omar might also choose to unfreeze his dog, swing his e8 rabbit over to c8. That would let his dog be unfrozen and move to a8. Then he could even follow behind with a rabbit to c8. But I think swinging the rabbit through the trap is a more kind of a more fun defense of that. Gets an extra defender over where the wing is weak, and still prevents the goal because oh my goodness, Omar moved with 0 seconds left. Mr. Time Trouble did it again. Made the move I recommended. To give his trap more defense. And it's not clear now. Part of the reason that I would have gone for the trap attack on 39G rather than the goal attack is that often goal attacking moves are bad for trap control. So the best control move. You want to get your pieces next to the trap and prevent the other guy from having his pieces next to the trap. 99 of 9 made a move that was not good for trap control. Now he's threatening a capture as well as a goal with his move 40G. That's a false protection. Omar has 2 pieces next to the C6 trap, but both are threatened by a stronger enemy piece. But he can unfreeze his horse and move it across the trap, stopping the goal threat. Oh, he stops the goal threat with his cat rather than with his horse. And now he has 3 pieces next to the trap, taking care of the false protection, and he's built up his reserve to a whopping 20 seconds. So once again, 99 of 9 had made and 99 of 9 now is going to just, let's just capture something on my side of the board, pulling the horse across to where it can be captured. I'm not sure if this is a time when Omar would want to abandon his rabbit. He's, trying to fight to the last drop of blood here. Omar does not believe in resignations. Abandoning his rabbit in the F3 trap would give, and he does it. So would perhaps delay it more. He's able to make a threat. Okay, maybe he's going to be able to capture something in the F6 trap. Notice that Omar is in danger of losing both a cat and a rabbit, in addition to the rabbit he lost in the framed trap. But perhaps the gold elephant will come back over to the east. It would be a reasonable move right now for 99 of 9 to move his elephant from F4 up to D6. That would take 4 steps, and it would shut everything down. He decides to retreat with the camel. I don't entirely like that move, retreating with the camel. I think the elephant is necessary anyway to prevent a capture in the F6 trap. Now Omar can move his elephant to F5, move his cat out of the trap, or perhaps move his dog up. Or Omar chooses counterattack. Okay, so he's got a rabbit on the A file now, and there's still some tiny threat down the H file. A well-defended threat, but a threat nonetheless. This is definitely prolonging the game, having given up that rabbit in order to get his elephant free. 99 of 9 has to now divide his attention between attack and defense. But the fundamental question here, I mean, there's tactics going on here on how to defend this goal attack. But the fundamental question that 99 of 9 should have been asking himself, should have asked already on 42G and should ask again now, is, am I going to need my elephant to put down this attack? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to need my elephant to put down this attack, then why not move the elephant over immediately? So now Omar could compel the elephant to come on defense by moving the silver elephant to B5 square to threaten the gold horse, and then create a phalanx on B7, sliding his rabbit from C7 to B7 and his cat out of the trap. That would threaten the horse. The horse would have no reach, and the elephant would have to come in to help defend. So given that the elephant was going to have to defend anyway, and Omar makes exactly my move. Maybe he's listening into the chat. Not only did he make that move, but he has over a minute in reserve. And now the gold elephant must come to defend this. The gold camel could actually technically prevent a capture, but that would only delay the time at which the gold elephant had to come over, because the silver elephant would be able to retain control of the trap. So I think that it's pretty much forced for the gold elephant to come to the d6 square. Given that the gold elephant's going to be on the d6 square, then silver will be able to delay the demise of his f4 rabbit, g4 rabbit, come over to the h file. Perhaps he'll even make a threat his next move against the gold rabbit. So 99 of 9 took a minute to think about it. Why not take your time when you have an overwhelming position and 7 minutes in reserve? And so now Omar can decide what to do, perhaps in the way of another desperation attack down the H file with his advanced rabbit. Save that rabbit. I think he probably does want to save his rabbit because that will keep more tension. But he might choose a rabbit trade. The rabbit trade would not be bad to get the board emptier. The emptier the board becomes, in general, the more funny things can happen. Now, Gold's next move, if he doesn't have an immediate capture of that silver rabbit, would probably want to activate his camel. I mean, he's probably going to send his camel after the silver horse and try and create a second threat. So Omar's move did compel the gold elephant to switch wings, but having so compelled, it's as if there's an elephant horse attack going. So I'm kind of expecting that now 99 of 9 for move 45 will pull the silver horse, pull it to c4 in order to threaten it with the camel, and the idea is to try and make the silver elephant choose. Silver elephant choose, are you going to defend the c3 trap or the c6 trap, because I'm going to make a threat in each of them. I was wrong. Gold chooses instead to defend his own rabbit. He has a rabbit on the 6th rank, and his own rabbit is some sort of goal threat. Omar can now, since Omar is in no immediate threat, he could consolidate his position by getting his horse onto the g6 square and his rabbit from g8 over to h7, holding the rabbit in, stopping any kind of goal threat. Consolidating the position. But 99 of 9 is in a way he's just showing off here, because he has a gold dog there to stop any threat that would be made by the silver cat and silver rabbit. Silver also needs to do something, I mean, just simply to defend his f3 trap. 99 of 9 could contemplate, if it were his move right now, on 45, if silver just passed, 99 of 9 could move his elephant through the trap, capturing the silver rabbit, threatening to get the silver cat in return, and also having a fairly strong goal threat in that corner. Well, no need to play any kind of racing move when you've got control. 99 of 9 surely wouldn't do anything like that. Omar, again, is addicted to time trouble. I would like to advise Omar. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of surprised. Okay, so Omar freed his other horse. That's an interesting move because it will allow him to bring his second horse to participate in a potential goal attack. So switching wings with the horse, you could say you thought you had a dog against a cat and a rabbit. You thought that was what you were facing for goal defense, but now I'm going to bring my horse so that you have your dog against a horse, a cat, and a rabbit. Interesting idea, but really quite hopeless, because 99 of 9 has a camel, and his camel is not otherwise occupied. And so the camel can come over and threaten that horse, And now this concept that I was talking before of creating two threats, and the silver elephant can only defend one of the two threats. He can only defend the elephant horse attack or something else. Well, now the or something else is going to be even further from the silver elephant. So the or else is going to be on the other wing. Well, okay, give Omar credit for trying to stir things up, but 99 of 9 makes the correct move to shut it down. And soon that silver elephant will be, in one move, will be in jeopardy of being captured. Now, 99 of 9 has to, so the elephant deadlock here, Omar will at some point probably abandon this elephant deadlock in order to switch wings with his elephant and come after the silver camel. At the time that he does that, it's important to calculate how many moves away from goal is gold. Oh, he did it immediately. He did it immediately. So 99 of 9 can of course prevent capture because with the silver elephant having left the c6 trap, the gold elephant is free to leave as well. And so he can push away, push his elephant into the e6 square, and then use one or two steps to defend the f3 trap. So he can defend both the f6-3 trap. He's got a very strong position, and it's so strong that his horse would still be dominant in the quadrant that he had left, so that he could continue to make progress without his elephant. Probably what's taking 99 of 9 any time at all on move 47G is he's thinking, hey, can I race? I mean, maybe I don't even have to save my horse. Maybe I can go ahead and take the silver cat with my horse, move with the horse coming around to end on the c5 square, move the gold rabbit into the breach. You know, maybe I'm fine. Maybe I can give up a piece for the attack. It's not my style to do that kind of thing. I mean, when there's no need to race, I would never race. I would always take this opportunity in move 47 to defend f3 and f6. And really, silver can't do anything here. It's not like you're endangering your winning chances by declining the race. Gold is totally in control of the board, has a camel and a dog now for only 2 rabbits, so his material advantage is greater than it was even before. He's got his own advanced rabbits. He can just play for control. But here, 99 of 9 is giving serious consideration here. He's spent already over 2 minutes. But no, at the end of the day, he does, as I suggested, he defends both his traps. Now, we could get in a situation here really easily where Omar, similar to the situation he was in before, where Omar needed to make every move, Omar needed to make a threat. I've got to make a threat to prevent my position from collapsing. And so he moves his elephant over to threaten the gold horse. So he has made a threat. But it takes him more steps than it takes 99 of 9 to make or respond to threats because of his material disadvantage. 99 of 9, for example, could push his gold horse through to the f7 square, threatening to make a capture, and use one step to retreat his own horse. And this would put the other gold horse in a very good position. He would have a gold horse on either wing, and Omar would be hard pressed to make another threat to keep the house of cards from collapsing. If 99 of 9 is so inclined, and he does exactly that. So now could try to continue this game, keep all the balls in the air here, move his elephant over to threaten the gold horse, and use 2 steps to defend the f6 trap. He could move his cat over, let's say, to defend the f6 trap, while threatening the gold horse. This would again give 99 the option of saying, well, you know, I could race you, but I don't need to race you. I'll just use my elephant to defend against your elephant, and then I'll use my camel to gain control on the rest of the board. So Omar has prolonged the game a little bit, has kept it active, kept it tense a little bit, but it's each time he shifts wings, each time he runs his elephant over here, runs his elephant back over there, 99 of 9 is gaining time, consolidating his position, is making it more hopeless. And Omar must recognize how dire his situation is, because he's letting his clock run down again. Under 10 seconds now. It would serve Omar right if he got lagged out the way he's been abusing his clock. On move 48S, he moved with 1 second left. Okay, so he has made a threat. And if I were in 99 of 9's shoes, so 99 of 9 could race. He can use his elephant on 49G. He can use his elephant to pull a rabbit through the trap. Pulling the rabbit through the trap would put him next to the horse, so that after Omar took a horse, 99 of 9 could take a horse. Net result, rabbit. But why do that? Why race? Why trade? You've got control. 99 of 9 can just move his elephant 1 square to defend the f6 trap, and then use his camel to continue. He can use 1 step to move for his elephant to defend the c6 trap, and use his camel to help attack the f6 trap, and even yet another step to do something with. So this is a very comfortable situation for 99 of 9. Comfortable because he has even 2 dogs, a cat, and 2 rabbits on the back row that can help defend should anything happen. And although he might want to think about advancing those rabbits that he has on the back row. Okay, 99 of 9 has 2 advanced rabbits. He has some threat on either wing. Why not get a threat up the middle too, once you've got control like you have now? 99 of 9 is taking a good long think again. It makes sense for him to take a long think. He does have the advantage. He does have lots of time in reserve. Even after taking 2 minutes. Oh, and he took my suggestion almost exactly. He defended the c6 trap with his elephant, continued to attack the f6 trap with his camel, and used 1 step to advance a rabbit. That's why not? A general purpose step in an endgame like this is a rabbit advance. Coming in now, Omar could try to get some kind of a goal threat in the middle, down the side. The camel can stop everything if the elephant doesn't participate. Omar might instead say, I want a material threat. I'm going to get a material threat in the f6 trap, running his elephant across again. Again, he needs all 4 steps to run his elephant across and push the gold camel back. 99 of 9 would need... Okay, so he... and very interesting. Okay, so Omar freezes the gold camel. The idea behind freezing the gold camel is to get some kind of goal threat going, where he's not making a material threat. He's threatening goal, and by using his horse, and he's using his elephant to freeze the gold camel to stop it from pursuing. Because he is not making a material threat, 99 of 9 could use this opportunity to capture a rabbit with his horse, No, instead 99 of 9 uses the opportunity to reestablish the goal threat. And this is quite strong. Omar can stop that for one turn, moving the rabbit over, yes, and he does, and attacks. But 99 of 9, okay, Omar moved very quickly on move 50. 99 of 9 should take his time on 51G. Since he has control, he has the option of not racing, so he should make very, very sure that if he does race, he's going to win the race. However, the racing move would be for the gold horse to push the silver rabbit 1 square forward and then return to its square. That's 3 steps. Make those 3 steps, and let's see. And how could silver defend? Is there a way to stop silver from defending? I guess the silver elephant would be obliged to defend. It would take 4 steps for the silver elephant to come defend, and then the gold camel would be free and could come and step on the silver horse. So I guess that's what I would recommend 99 of 9 to do. I do not see any other gold defense. I don't see anything but the elephant coming back, which would free, and 99 of 9 did in fact do that. I'm not sure what his 4th step was aiming at, why he would have moved a rabbit into the middle. Is it some kind of goal defense that I'm not seeing? But now for 51's S, Omar, if he doesn't want to lose on the next move, I believe is required to move his elephant into the B6 square. After Omar moves his elephant into the B6 square, and he does it, now the gold camel can move to the G3 square and cannot be prevented from taking the silver horse. The only thing for 99 of 9 to perhaps give some consideration to is there's now a silver rabbit on the loose. There's nothing to support that silver rabbit because the silver elephant can't leave without allowing an immediate goal. But still, it's worth some consideration. What kind of threat can be set up? What kind of do I have? I would 99 of 9 does in fact move his camel to the G3 square and moves his rabbit up. Okay, so I think that rabbit was indeed part of some goal defense plan, that the dog can take care of the B file, the dog and cat can take care of the A and B files. The rabbit is now blocking a goal on the D file. The E file, a rabbit would have to get past a cat. So Omar doesn't really have much of a goal threat working here. It would be ideal for Omar if he could find some way to consolidate the position in the northwest corner. If he could consolidate it in any way so that his elephant could somehow leave without giving up a goal immediately, without giving up a goal on the next turn. Well, I guess the gold elephant could already sort of leave in that way by using 1 step to pull the gold horse back. So then the elephant would get a 3-step head start. He could use that to somehow create a goal threat. But it looks like 99 of 9 has all the bases covered, and will soon have the bases more covered because the camel, if the camel can afford to capture the horse on the very next turn, it will, and so that will be another defender. So Omar would really like to create a way for his elephant to leave, create a way so that the camel can't afford to take the horse. I'm not seeing that way. Okay, so Omar made his move, but he's ironically not even threatening goal in 1. He would need 5s to get to goal from where he is now. The 99 of 9 should consider on move 53 whether he has the time to spare to take the silver cat with his elephant, perhaps move the dog in front blocking the horse, spending only 1 move. So he has a capture in only 3 steps, and he could spend 1 step moving his dog to block the horse. Also, if he takes that capture, it puts his elephant on c5 square, which would stop the rabbit from sprinting sideways. Even if the rabbit did sprint sideways, so what? Because then there would be a defensive move taking the horse at the same time, moving the camel to the center. So it doesn't look like there's much there. I would... Oh, interesting. Okay, 99 of 9 reestablishes the goal threat. Does not take the cat, but reestablishes the goal threat so that now Omar has to bring his elephant right back in there in the same square where he was. He can save his rabbit at the same time. His rabbit is not frozen, so on 53S he could move his rabbit towards the middle and move his elephant back into the square where it was. So he can save those pieces, but he can't save then his horse. He doesn't have a goal threat that's adequate to saving the horse. If Omar wanted to go out with a flourish, he could move the rabbit over to the c4 square and then capture the gold dog. Oh my goodness, he's got this huge goal threat. Well, that would lose the game the next way, but it's a very stylish way to lose the game with having set up your own crushing goal threat at the time you know you're going to lose. Omar's down to 12 seconds, thinking about how he's going to meet his doom. And he decides to prolong the game. Omar is in keeping with his philosophy of fight down to the last rabbit. Now 99 of 9 takes the horse. Yep, don't need to think long about that. That rabbit on e4 is soon to perish, on d4 is soon to perish, and oh, by the way, 99 of 9 is even to threatening to capture a rabbit around the f6 trap. So Omar would need to defend that as well. Omar takes 4 steps with his elephant, pulling out the gold horse, and now the gold dog can unfreeze the horse and put it right back in the same situation where Omar has been. Again, it's getting more and more extreme. The whole principle of the silver elephant having to scurry here and scurry there to make a threat, but every time he does a scurry, gold gains time. And that dynamic, that equation of gold gaining time every time the silver elephant does something, is simply getting worse and worse. He's losing more time or more material on each go round. I really don't see how Omar can prevent losing a rabbit, losing that e4 rabbit on the next turn, to say nothing of the fact that his rabbits are still threatened on the f6 trap. I think that now we may see 99 of 9 move a little bit more quickly than he had been moving, because he is under less threat. The position has become less tense, and he's just increasing his material advantage. So with this game rapidly nearing conclusion, it's time to look forward to the next round. 99 of 9 was upset in the first round by Simon. 99 of 9 came into this tournament as the 4th seed, as a definite. Interesting that Omar pulled the gold dog on move 56G, because on move 55S, because I think that makes it even harder for his elephant to leave. 99 of 9 naturally takes a rabbit. Now the camel will be free to go up to the f6 square and take care of business up there. So there's really not a good way for Omar to defend that trap, even if he just hangs back and defends. Anyway, 99 of 9 came into this tournament as the 4th seed and lost in the first round. Very impressive upset by Simon. And so one wonders then, who's going to make it into the final 8? And this game is very important, because with Omar losing this game, Omar will now be on the brink of elimination. Omar, on move 56S here, has defended the f6 trap. It makes sense for him to defend this trap. I expect 57G, Omar, 99 of 9 sends the camel that way. He doesn't think about it too much. Omar will be soon very hard pressed not to lose more material, and doesn't really have a goal threat that he can set up. So here, the Omar losing this game will have a 1-2 record. To make it into the finals requires a 3-2 record. That is, Omar is now going to have to win both of his remaining games. So Omar will be put on the brink of elimination by this game. 99 of 9, meanwhile, will have fought right back into it after his opening loss, having won 2 games, and will be in a good position to make it into the finals because he'll only have to win 1 of the last 2 games. So this has got to be a big relief for 99 of 9 after his first rounds, and a disappointment for Omar as to whether he will even make it into the final 8 or not. I, of course, am rooting for Omar to do well because I have played Omar already, and that means that my standing is influenced by how well Omar does, because of the tiebreaker points. Now, my own record is at 2-1, but my tiebreaker is looking somewhat poor, and Tux, who came in as the 5th seed, has now moved up to 3rd place in the standings. Tux has gone 2 wins and 1 loss, and has the best tie-breaking score of any player with 2 wins and 1 loss. Oh my, Omar once again went down to 0 seconds for the 2nd time this game, and didn't really create much of a threat. I guess he didn't have anything else to do, but 99 of 9 can simply move his horse back where it was, re-establishing the threat. He can even, 99 of 9 can even capture the silver cat on the way, if he wanted to a threat more impressive. And he does so on 58G after a short think. 99 of 9 now has, Omar has no reserve and is facing a double goal threat. He has to move his elephant back into the B6 square, but now the elephant can no longer move through the trap because the cat is no longer there protecting the trap. He has to push the dog out of the way that he pulled there for whatever odd reason. Turns out that dog did in fact make his life worse. 59G, 99 of 9 shouldn't have to think long before capturing the silver cat. That's a very quick way to bring the game to conclusion. He may be thinking, well, can I bring my camel through the trap, push the silver horse away, and force a goal directly without having to make more captures? You get more style points for making a goal immediately, for making a fast goal. It's not clear to me how much faster that would be than just taking the cat, or, for example, even just the D2 rabbit coming straight up the middle. But okay, let's go with style points. This reminds me that Omar at one time had a proposal that players in the World Championship, if they had a goal in 3 or fewer, if they had a forced goal in 3 moves or fewer, missed the forced goal, they would lose some of their prize money. It would go to the defender. And the idea of this was to encourage the defender to fight to the death, to have the opportunity of getting some prize money. So 99 of 9 actually split the difference between my proposals. I mean, between capturing the cat and advancing his D rabbit up the middle, and going for a direct goal with the H rabbit. He was threatening to move his H rabbit over. Now Omar has, in fact, defended a pretty good defensive move to push the gold horse away, because he's positioning his elephant to get in the way of both the A-file rabbit and the D-file rabbit in terms of stopping, a goal in 2. Seems to me, though, that 99 of 9 has the goal in 3 by pulling the silver cat through the F6 trap this turn. That's 1. Pulling the silver horse through the trap next turn. Oh, he chose another move. Okay, so 99 of 9 is threatening goal in 1. Again, with the D rabbit. Presumably the silver elephant will come to the C file to stop that from being goal in 1, because the silver dog is threatening goal in 1. So I think 99 of 9 may have slowed himself down a move by not coming through with the camel. No worries though, because now the camel can come to the D6 square, reestablishing the threat. And meanwhile, why not bring the dog up 2 squares to prevent the silver rabbit from running into the middle of the field and delaying things. Silver rabbit on h4 from running into the middle and delaying things 1 more. Well, 99 of 9 reestablishes a goal in 1 threat for his D5 rabbit. The D5, the silver elephant can stop that by it can come through the C trap, but it would be frozen by the time it reached C7. Maybe for additional steps, why not bring the dog back 1? I think actually putting the dog on B7 rather than B6 delays things more, because now 99 of 9, rather than advancing the rabbit to C7, may choose just to capture the silver dog, thinking that would speed things up. This is reminding me of me, I have to say. I'm very slow to finish off 1 games. I take more moves than necessary always when I have a big material advantage. Now this is looking tough to stop. Let's see. 62S, is there any defense? Just simply putting the elephant on the B file is not going to do it, because 4 steps will get it there. On the C file, also leaves open a 4-step goal. I do not see a way for silver on 62 to stop gold from winning this game on the next move on 63G. Looks like we're over on 63, but Omar, fight to the death, Omar is going to look until his clock runs out, trying to find a way to stop it. How about elephant up to the B5 square? No, the dog can slide over, unfreezing the rabbit. It comes through. The moving the rabbit over, getting the rabbit involved. So Omar, oh, he found the defense. Oh my goodness, why did I not see that? For some reason, I thought that it would be a 4-step goal to move the rabbit from A6 up to B7, unfreeze it with the dog, and get to goal. I miscounted. I'm glad I didn't miscount in a game where it matters. 99 of 9 makes the defense more difficult now by splitting his 2 rabbits. So he has 1 rabbit on each wing, and or a rabbit in 2 places, so that the silver elephant cannot easily defend both places. I'm a little bit hesitant to call a 4-step goal now, after I called it wrong the last time, but it really is difficult to see any sort of maneuver by Omar taking place here. Yeah, I think this may be the point at which the players exchange congratulatory messages. And I congratulate 99 of 9 for a good control win. and Omar for a long fight. The game was despite Omar's long struggle, the advantage of 99 of 9 was pretty clear from the moment that he took the camel hostage, and it lasted all game. That camel hostage, Omar never really got any counterplay going, never got any threats, and it was a situation of running around with his elephant, always running around with his elephant, trying to make something happen. And every time 99 of 9 would be able to shut down the threat, gain a little position, gain a little material, shut down the threat, Omar would run around to try and create another threat, and the same thing would happen again. So 99 of 9 is definitely back in the mix. And if 99 of 9 were to win out here, win his last two games, and end at 4-1, oh, there was the Omar's last defensive attempt. Now 99 of 9 has two ways to move the B6 rabbit to goal in 3 steps. He can take his pick, and if 99 of 9 comes back from his first round loss to win all the way through, he could still get the second or third seed, not only qualifying, but being in very good position for the finals. And that is game.